If you're thinking about joining the Marines, one of the first things that you'll need to know is the education requirements. Whether you have a high school diploma or a GED, your education level plays a big role in whether you can enlist and what kind of jobs you'll qualify for. Welcome to the U.S. Military Test Prep channel from Study.com. My name is Matt, and I'm a U.S. Army vet and an ASVAB test prep expert. In this video, we're breaking it all down so that you know exactly what to expect and how to prepare. Let's get into it. When it comes to joining the Marines, your educational background plays a significant role in determining your eligibility and opportunities available to you. If you want to enlist, the Marines typically require a high school diploma. If you have a GED or a General Education Development Certificate, you could still enlist in the Marines, but your application will need to go through a Marine Corps recruiter for review. But just having a GED doesn't automatically mean that you'll qualify. It really depends on your full application and how you measure up overall. But it's a little more complicated than that, and we need to take a look at the ASVAB to get a clearer picture. The Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, or ASVAB, is a test that the military uses to determine both your eligibility for enlistment and which jobs you qualify for. One of the most important scores from this test is the Armed Forces Qualifying Test, or AFQT score. This determines whether or not you can enlist at all, with each military branch setting its own minimum requirement. Let's talk numbers and take a closer look at the minimum AFQT score you need to enlist in the Marine Corps. In most cases, you'll need a minimum AFQT score of 31 if you have a high school diploma. If you've passed the GED exam, you'll need to aim for a score of at least 50. Now, not everyone scores high enough to qualify for the job they want, or sometimes even to enlist at all. Or maybe you don't meet the education requirements. That's where ASVAB waivers can come into play. Waivers may be an option for individuals who didn't quite meet the standard requirements under certain conditions. You might be wondering, why do the Marines place such an emphasis on education? Well, it's simple. A solid educational foundation ensures that Marines possess the critical thinking, discipline, and knowledge necessary to tackle the diverse challenges that they'll come to face in the service. Also, certain roles within the Marines require specialized skills and knowledge, such as technical skills or the ability to solve complex problems, that you usually gain through education. By setting these standards, the Marines ensure that its personnel are well equipped to handle their responsibilities effectively. If you don't have a high school diploma or GED, don't be discouraged. You could still consider applying for a waiver based on education. Waivers are given on a case-by-case basis. It's important to remember that they are not all guaranteed. I recommend checking with a Marine recruiter to find out the specific regulations. Let's talk about your next steps if you're serious about joining the Marines. First, assess your educational credentials. Determine if you have the necessary diploma or certificate to enlist. If you don't, consider options to obtain them, like taking the GED exam. Also, if you've already taken the ASVAB, check to see that your score is high enough. Remember, if you have a high school diploma, you'll need at least a 31. With a GED, a minimum AFQT score of 50 is required. If you want to explore the option of a waiver, talk to a recruiter. If they think that you may be eligible for one, they'll be able to tell you how to apply. If your scores are close but not quite there, consider retaking the test. You'll need to wait at least 30 days between your first 2 retakes. After that, it's a 6-month wait if you want to try again. So use the time that you have to your advantage. Let's talk about some steps that you can take to improve your scores and better position yourself to qualify for enlistment and the jobs that you want. These tips are also useful if you haven't taken the ASVAB yet and are getting ready to prep. First, pinpoint weak areas. Look at which subtest brought your score down. Next, study smarter. Spend more time on the sections that you struggled with, especially the ones involved in computing the minimum score for the job that you're aiming for. Using good study resources can make a huge difference. Study.com's ASVAB test prep resources can really help you with personalized plans and practice tests to get you on track. In fact, 92% of users pass the ASVAB after prepping with Study.com. Taking a practice test can really help you zero in on what you know and what you don't. Watch lessons to review material that you're less confident in. If you feel like you know a topic well, do practice problems and quiz yourself. If you notice that you're missing a lot, go back and review the lesson to make sure that you really know the material. A solid prep plan can really help you boost your score. If you're prepping for the ASVAB, consider using Study.com's ASVAB study guide and test prep resources and focus on what you need to study. Understanding and meeting the Marines' education requirements is a pivotal step in your journey towards service. Remember, it's not just about eligibility. It's about ensuring you're prepared for the challenges and responsibilities ahead. If this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment with any questions or topics that you want for us to cover in the future, and don't forget to subscribe for more U.S. military test prep content. Stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next video.